welcome in. Another video by Dutton Ranch, bringing you digitaldowns.com, the best horse racing site out there. Digital horse racing site, this is the one to be in. Okay, guys, this is going to be for beginners, and I guess guys that are already part of DD might not know this, I'm not sure. But beginners, here's some things for you guys that you need to really look at. First of all, the horses. Okay, so your training times, right? Your training times implicate what a horse will do on the track. It does not mean a horse will do what it says on the track. For instance, you could have two horses that are 108.25 2-year-olds at 6 furlongs, right? And one could be real good and one could be a piece of crap. Okay? Now, there is some variables to this because, you need to make sure that the ads and equipment are correct on both horses. But other than that, that is the truth. You can have two horses of the same training time, even if it's 108.25, right? 2-year-olds or 3-year-olds or whatever. And they can be two different horses, so remember that. To compete and understand training times, you're going to need to go to statistics, right? And this is a very important tab, statistics tab, okay? Because you have jockey stats, right? You can look at the jockey stats. Now, you need to do this now. Don't wait to do this, because once the season starts, all these jockeys start over. The winning percentage is 0. The money one is 0. Each one of these is a track, okay? So you're going to want to look at it, right? So, for instance, Digital Downs. These are the top 3 jockeys. Now, if you want to, you could even go in here and see where the jockey's strengths and weaknesses are. Here's dirt, here's turf, so obviously there's not much of a weakness there. Here's off track, so there's not much of a weakness there. Here's sprint, here's classic, here's route, so that's really good. 2-year-old, 3-year-old, inside, outside. So Jamont Rudder does not favor the outside post, right? Now, if you wanted to, you could get real crazy with this and remember that and, set it up where you know exactly where Jamont Rudder likes it. But just to show you, you can look at the jockeys and you can see their riding style balanced, which is the best. Strengths, route, and weaknesses, none. Each jockey will be different. For instance, Scott Powers. Let's go down to number 12. You can see balanced route. He looks like Jamont Rudder a little bit, but he's not as good. His winning percentage is terrible, right? And that's based off of 633 runs. So he should have a better winning percentage out of 633 runs. You can look at all this stuff, 774 runs or 77 runs or whatever. But even at 77 runs, Scott Powers should have a better percentage than that. As you can see, Angel Herrera is better than him. This guy's not better. These guys are better. So the top 3 jockeys, for all things considered, are Rudder, Plax, and Light, as you can see by their win percentage and their money won, right? All right, so that's number 1. On the statistics tab, number 2, top workouts. This is training times, okay? Now, you can change the age here to 2. You can go to the distance. I will warn you, you got to watch 6 furlongs because even routers can have real good times at 6 furlongs. That they're not running 6 furlongs, they're routers. So you can trust in 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? 11, 12. As far as 6 furlongs go, you're kind of going to have to look at the horse, right? So if you wanted to, let's say a mile and an eighth, which is 9, right? Let's look at Public, right? So here's the lowest times of 2-year-olds in the Public. As you can see, these are the horses with the lowest training times. That does not mean these are the best horses. It does mean that the best horses are in here. Okay? So if you go down here far enough, you're going to start seeing a drop off. If you click on every horse, you'll see how much money they won and everything, but you'll start seeing a drop off. So obviously, if you have a horse that's 148.84 and you're seeing these 54s, that's a huge jump. Okay? So, you got to be cautious with that 148.84, right? You could also look at your stable, 148.54 2-year-old. So if you go to your stable, it'll pop up your best horses. So obviously, almost all these horses are good. Double Down Dutton, I believe, is a freaking, these guys are EC and stakes winners. So it doesn't mean a 148.84 can't win a stakes race. You have to see how it races. Every horse is different. The number one horse doesn't mean it's the best. For instance, here's Shock Trauma. It hasn't won a race yet, okay? Now, I can tell you, even in a mile and an eighth, it hasn't won. It's came in here second second and second. So it doesn't mean it's the best horse, right? I know that some of these horses are better and have won more. Maybe Double Down Dutton's won a stakes race. All right, he hasn't won a stakes race. Black Stallion hasn't run a stakes race. So maybe Tremendous AKA's won. Come on, pop up, man. All right, he's got 2 wins, right? Are any of them in a mile and an eighth? No, none of them are a mile and an eighth. So he hasn't done it in a mile and an eighth either. I'm not going to go through here and find my mile and an eighth horses, but I know I have horses that have won in a mile and an eighth. So you could also use this, as a guide on your horse's training times. When you breed a horse and you want to know, hey, how good is this horse? Or what can I expect? It doesn't mean you're going to get it, but what can I expect from this horse? On the shorter distances, you really, it's these horses, 43.60s aren't going to cut it. It's a smaller, the smaller the distance, the smaller the variance is, the training time variance. So these horses aren't going to have a big variance. Literally, you're not going to see a 43.60 winning graded stakes races, right? The variance is very small for 4 furlongs. The variance gets bigger for 5, 6, 7, 8, and so forth and so on. The variance plays a little bit less each distance up. So, like Dazzling Cat is the best 4 furlong time. I don't know what Dazzling Cat has done. There you go. Look, it hasn't even won a race, but look at this. I mean, that's bananas right there. 114.98. If you do not know, this is the speed. The higher the speed, the better. Doesn't mean that a 106.98 can win a Grade 1 stakes race. Okay, it can happen. This race rating here is the higher the race rating, the tougher the field. So this race here was a very tough field. It was really good horses. Anything like 108 and below is terrible. That's claiming. That's claiming stuff. 109's okay. I've seen it up to 114, so 115. And if you see a race like 112.25, that means there were some really good horses in this race. If you view the form, right, you can see this horse is 4 for 8. That horse is 0 for 5. This horse is 0 for 4, 0 for 2. But these horses are good horses. They ran really good at 4 furlongs. So you could see, what you got here. If I had to guess, Dazzling Cat is probably this Perfect Drop is really good too. He hasn't won yet, but he will. These times are funny too. You got to watch these times because people train horses with the wrong weights. They train them the old way, which I don't do. I've never done. I tried it and it's not going to work. So that's some stuff there for you to base. Just look at this as a guide. Like, hey, I've got a horse. My 4 furlong time, training time for my brand new horse is 43.52. Okay, that's good. Race your horses, level them up. Go from division, or go from maiden special weight, or if you want to spend the money, super maiden or something. Added purse. See how it races there. Then go to division, E division, D division. I don't rarely run C and A and B division. Once you run a D division, if your horse does really good in the D division, then you move it to grade 3 or grade 2 or grade 1 stakes. You'll kind of know. So move your horses along like a real trainer would. That's number one. As far as how many races per season that you can race, well, it varies. Every horse isn't built the same, and every horse races differently. Some horses could go 30 races, you know what I mean? Some horses only last 12. And when I say last, it means they slow down. It doesn't mean they can't win again. It just means you need to get them back on course. And sometimes they don't get on course, you know what I mean? For instance, let's see. Most of my horses are lightly raced. This is my stable summary. So a lot of my horses are lightly raced. I try not to go over 12 a season, but I've been going to like 14 now. As a 2-year-old. As a 3-year-old, your horse can be at 24 races sometimes. But you'll know when you need to adjust your horse, okay? And what I mean by that is some of these horses, let's go to my best horses here. Some of these horses need more than 3 days off, okay? Some of these horses literally need 4 days off. I've learned that. Nobody's going to tell you that. It's just something I've noticed, okay? Some of them do better with 4 days off. On these short distances, on every distance, gate position matters, okay? Gate position plays a key role. As you can see, this is the 4 hole this horse couldn't hold its steady run. The 1 hole it does hold, you have to look at this. That's 1.25 miles steady run. That's an $860 race. Yeah, 800. That's the Derby. So this horse literally won the Derby. Oksana Bayou. Okay, it won the Derby here, right? That's the Preakness, right? That's the Derby prep. So it came in second there, right? That's the Gobbler, grade 1. So you got three grade 1 races. Well, 2 that this horse came in first at 1.25 miles, right? but then kind of did okay here, but here couldn't beat probably the same horses. So on the same ads and equipment. So sometimes they falter. I mean, look, mile and a quarter goes from here, same thing, right? And then wins. So the gate position plays a big key here. Um, and the horses that are in the race, right? So if you got a lot of speed in the 1, 2, 3, 4, your horse is going to have a hard time getting over, making it to the rail. If you have horses on if 1, 2, 3, 4 is on push and you're the 5 hole, right? And well, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4 is on push and 1, 2, 3 is on push, and number 4 is on stalk. You're gonna have a hard time coming over, right? You're not gonna get the front because somebody's gonna be the 4, 3, 2, or 1 on push. So it's going to be tough for you to get out of this thing, So that gate position plays a big key in this. You can see this race that it was closed, right? Mile and a quarter. DC Prep came in second, right? And it was the 2 hole. Maybe if I had it on steady run here, it would have run the race. Or maybe if I had it on steady run here, it would have finished worse than second, right? Because look, it closed. So if I was on steady run, it wouldn't have closed like this. It would have stayed. It would have took the lead and maybe dropped back. So that's a key there. So that's just something that you need to keep in mind. But this tab you're going to need to look at. It's a very important tab. So you got top workouts. I never look at these. I don't need to. Jockey stats, top workouts. I mean, you can look at the racing leaders if you want. You can look at the latest workouts too, but I rarely look at that. Top race times. So as you can see here, this horse, his best race time in a mile and a quarter is 2:01:42, right? So that's the best time in a mile and a quarter for this horse, 2:01:42. So you could go here and look at a mile and a quarter for a 3-year-old, right? 3-year-old distance. That's mile and an eighth, mile and a quarter. So you could go here and see. Is this the race times? I think this is the race times. Yeah, here's the race times. There's Oksana Bayou. So these two horses had better race times than Oksana Bayou. Now, this was at DD, and these are at New York. So there is a difference, right? That doesn't mean that this horse is better than Oksana Bayou. Matter of fact, let's look. This horse is 3-8, never won a big race. Look, that's D division probably. That's D division probably. C division. You see, it's never won a big race, but has the best race time. I mean, the best time, top race time at a mile and a quarter, right? How about Powerful Angel? All right, Powerful Angel has won 5 times. There you go. Powerful Angel's a nasty horse. So, that horse above has the lowest race time, but Powerful Angel and Oksana Bayou are way better. And you could probably find other horses down here that are better than that horse. It doesn't mean, that this horse, it doesn't all the time mean that horse is the best. It just tells you, hey, if you have a horse, if you have 8 horses in a race, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you have a horse that's 2:01:48 race time, not workout, not training time, race time, that's pretty good at DD. So that's what you want to do there. Top breeding stables. Okay, you could use this for. I use this a lot because it tells you. your races, some races, wins. I'm sorry, races and shows, right? There's your earnings, right? So out of 577 races, I've earned $12,139, which is really respectful. As you can see, some of these guys got way more races than me and are barely above me. Here's my earnings per race. As you can see, I think I'm the highest on DD with the amount of races I have. Here's my win percentage. I'm also the highest with the amount of races I have. I'm basing this over 500, so I'm also there. I don't know what ITM means. I have no clue. I have no clue what that means. So, when you look at this, you can kind of see top breeding stable does not mean it's Chrisman or Taylor or Dash or Royal. You have to take everything into consideration. What kind of stable would you like to be? Would you like to be a stable like this that has thousands of races, and the earnings per race are $6.40? The reason that it is like that is because he has thousands of races. It is very hard, to have, to know and have racers, that get you, this much money and that percentages. Like Dash. Dash has a good percentage too. Look, Dash has 723 races. His earnings are 4,000 less. His EPR is 19, 1743. I don't know what that means again. So like when I look at Taylor and Darren, I'd kind of want to be. I'd rather be like Dash here. He's got half the races almost, and fourth half the races. So you could assume if he doubled his races, he would probably be up here. You know what I mean? He wouldn't be at 13. He'd be way up here. You know what I mean? As well as me too. If I had 1,000 races, I might be at 24,000. You know what I mean? So look at that. And if you click the name, like my name, Dutton Ranch, I mean, you click your own name or you can click any name you want. You can look at some information here. A lot of this information is correct, right? Here's the season, career. This is the season. So you can kind of see, this is when I started. As you can see, I think I've been here I think I've been here longer than season 52. Maybe I haven't. Oh yeah, okay, never mind. This is correct. This is how long I'm pretty sure how long I've been here. I mean, I don't understand why I would have 11 races. So this is probably my first season. And as you can see, I got better and better and better and better. Look at my earnings per race. And then from here on, you see the big jump. I mean, I had more races here than here. You can see the big jump. Look at the earnings with the less races, you see. So you could see, and like this year, I mean, I'm doing better, way better this year than I did last year, right? This year was about almost the same. This year was less races, so that was not my best season. This season, one of these seasons was my best season. I just don't know which one it was. I think it was 56. Maybe it was. Or maybe it was 58. One of these seasons was really good. It was 50. Well, actually, 58 was, but I've kind of crushed that now. So I'd say this season has been probably my best season. Yeah, this has probably been my best season. So, but as you can see, I got better and better and better and better. Here is the top active horses by earnings, by top sire by full earnings. So, like, some of these are retired, but if you got these in your barn, then these are the ones that you want to breed, right? Because, look at the money and then you take this, like, you take this, right? And you look at the top two here, Seven Sisters and Nutrillo, right? And then you go check the folds. And then you use the folds, right? So that's what we got going on here. Here's, I don't know about this awards thing. Here's the graded stakes wins. Yeah, I don't know about awards. I should have the awards. I don't know what they are, but that's pretty much all I got for you. Here's your total wins. 861 total wins. So, you know, this is season 60 was really close. So that's about it, man. Now, this isn't this year's standings, okay? This is just my personal. So, you know, this is my personal stuff. And here's stakes, right? That's total, but this is stakes. As you can see, this year here, 58 was my best year, okay? I'm telling you now, 58 was when I bred Seven Sisters and Nutrillo, right? Pretty sure. So, yeah, because I'm pretty sure 58 was when I did that. So you see here, I only had 238 runs of graded stakes races, right? It's 238. My earnings were this. My earnings per race were this. I mean, my win was this. My EPR was really high, right? It's higher than everything. So that was probably my best season. I know it kind of looks funny, but it really was because I only had 238 runs. You know what I mean? Opposed to 327 this year. So I would take probably, yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I would probably take this year over this year. So, all right, well, that's all I got for you. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this helps you out. Stay tuned. More videos coming soon. Dutton out.